I just want to let you know that as of like late last night, Ed Buck, who we've talked about on the show actually very recently, who had this wealthy, well-connected Democratic donor guy or whatever, he's had 2 people in the past over to his house, generally young gay black men, who he allegedly pumps full of his own drugs, and they've died. 2 people have died. One incident like this, an overdose would be a tragedy, a death would be an even bigger one. 2 can't even comprehend, but then on top of it, for there to be no consequences, that's even worse. Well, as of apparently like sometime this week, the details are just starting to come out. There was a 3rd overdose. So thankfully this time did not result in death, but he has actually been arrested. Thanks to the hard fighting over a long period of time of a number of different people. Now this is not a guarantee of any sort of consequences, but there was at least something. And we're gonna have more details hopefully for tomorrow. We have a guest who has some insider knowledge from being involved with the families of those who have died along the way, who's gonna be joining us tomorrow.
It's another illustration of the way our judicial system works. And we don't see these stories a lot because the idea here was to cover this one up too. This type of thing happens, maybe not all the time, but enough of the time with no consequences that there's people who realize that about our system and they use it.
Yeah. If you have a certain amount of resources, if you have certain connections, you are free from consequences. And then, look, again, I don't know all the details of the most recent thing, but think about what it says that this person, let's say in some crazy world that doesn't actually exist, there had never been any ill will. 2 terrible tragedies, 2 terrible accidents. Then you invite more people over.
Exactly.
That's sick. That's sick. The best case scenario is almost unimaginably sick. And that's not that's not actually what's going on.
That's acknowledging that you didn't just mess up. You don't have to have anything to answer for.
Predatory.
Yeah, if something like that happened, you're responsible, you go, oh my God, I better make sure that I don't do this again.
Yeah, and I know some people might be uncomfortable about because he's tied to the Democratic Party talking about it or whatever. That's absolutely ridiculous. It should have absolutely nothing to do with the consequences he should face and our coverage of it. So hopefully more tomorrow with a guest who has been working inside of this story. For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.